why you need KPIs for your business. Now, before we get started, if you could hit that like and subscribe button to be notified of future content, we would greatly appreciate it, as that helps the channel reach more people who would benefit from this content. Now, some of you may already know what KPIs are, but for those of you who are not familiar, I'm going to spend a minute or so just explaining what a KPI is. KPIs stand for Key Performance Indicators. Now, essentially what you use these KPIs for is it's a quick way to understand what are the most important metrics in your business to know, to understand, to follow, to know like what's working and what's not working. These are the most important indicators. These are the most important metrics that you need to know and be aware of, so that you know if like, hey, this was successful or this was not successful. And it's a really quick and dirty way of understanding, what's a win and what's a loss. So let's look at an example to try and understand it. So let's say that you have a course that you created and you're selling it for $1,000. And so to market and try and generate some sales for this course, you run some ads to send some traffic and you're sending some traffic to watch a recorded webinar, and that recorded webinar trains people on some things and shapes their beliefs. And then after that, it helps people, gives them the opportunity to buy the course. So after you spend a certain amount on ads, the next question is like, okay, we did the campaign, we created this marketing plan, we created this webinar, we're running traffic to it, we're selling our course. What is the key KPIs that we need to be thinking about? Well, again, keep it simple, because we can go into the weeds and get a lot more detail later if we want to, but at the high level, the KPIs should be something along the lines of: how many sales did you make? Or how much revenue was there? So you know how much was brought in. That should be your first one. Like, okay, we made this amount of money in sales. Your next one should be like, how much did it cost to get those sales? What was it? So the very baseline of every marketing campaign was money in versus money out. How much did it cost to acquire a customer? How much did we spend to get each sale that we generated through our ad campaign? And how much revenue was there generated? So we can get a really clear understanding. So if your numbers, like if it cost you more to get a customer than was the cost of your program, you have a problem, obviously. If it cost you $1,500 to generate a customer in ad spend and you only generated $1,000 in revenue from the sale, that's a problem. You're not going to be successful, and you know that campaign was a loss. It didn't win. However, if you generated $400 to $500 in ad spend and generated $1,000 in sales from your course, that's a win, because you doubled your money. You spent $400 to $500 in advertising, and you generated twice that in your course sales. And again, course sales are passive income. Once you get it built and everything's in place, you're ready to go. You're just ready to sell it and to get more income from it. Now, the other side of that is, if you want to go and add a third one to it, the next thing I would add to that is, what did it cost you to acquire each lead? Because what you're going to have is, you're going to have people who register for the webinar, who watch it, who go through the marketing training and everything, and out of those, a certain percentage of those people are actually going to become buyers. So this is going to help you really understand, like, okay, if I didn't get many sales, if I didn't get many people in to watch the webinar training, and I didn't get many people to do it, well, then that's going to cause people to, that's going to cause me to think, well, maybe it's my marketing funnel's not good enough. Maybe I'm not getting enough, an enticing enough offer to get people to do it, because it costs me too much money to run the ad to people to get them to register for the webinar. But maybe you got a whole bunch of people to register for the webinar, but not many of them bought. You really didn't get hardly any sales based on the volume of people you got to register. Well, that tells you that your sales presentation probably needs a little bit more work. That tells you that that's probably needing to be improved. because your conversion rate on your message wasn't as strong as you needed it to be. So that's going to tell you. So like the first level is going to tell you win or loss. Was it a profit or was it a loss? Did I generate customers at an acceptable cost? How much the revenue in versus the money out? How am I going to do that? And then the next one is going to tell you like, how good was I at generating leads? Was I doing a good job at generating leads of potential buyers for this? So was I doing a good job of generating those in a cost-effective manner? Was my marketing and my advertising doing well? And if so, how did my sales presentation do? Did I convert at least 1 to 2% of those people into customers who went through on a cold audience basis? So those are key performance indicators that are going to really help you understand very quickly whether or not something worked or didn't work. Now, if you want to go deeper than that, you can certainly drill down into each of those ideas and different, things in your advertising campaign and other things to really get a lot more granular on it. But here's the thing, is that when you need to be able to make decisions, when you need to be able to move forward, complexity is the enemy of progress. If you make things really complex and you need to analyze things on 10 different levels before you make a decision as to whether or not a marketing campaign was successful or not, you are going to be very slow. You're going to have a hard time making decisions. You're going to have a hard time moving forward. If you keep your KPIs simple and direct and easy to understand, you can easily know, yes, keep going, or no, we need to stop and we need to reevaluate. We need to make some changes. We need to make some improvements. So if you're in that boat, make sure that, if you're running a campaign, usually 1 to 3 KPIs is enough. You don't want to have 10. You don't want to have that. You want to have that initial litmus test that you can know exactly whether or not this was going to work or this didn't work, if it's good or if it's bad, so that you can then know, okay, put more money in. That, we were able to do this and we spent $400 or $500 to acquire a customer and we got $1,000 in revenue. Do it again. Do more. Maybe next time spend even more money to acquire a customer, because we want to get this going and going and going. At this rate, we're going to be very profitable. So these are all things that we need to think about. These are ways for us to make quick decisions, and then you can get digging into further on how to nuance things. But you have to have ways of keeping your business simple. You have to have different areas of your business where you look at it and say, okay, this is a win and this is a loss. And you need to have that not just in marketing campaigns where it's relatively easy to say, okay, dollars in versus dollars out. That's easy to do. There are going to be other areas of your business where it's going to be a little more nuanced, or it's going to be a little more complex to be able to make that decision. And as a result, you can't just say really easily. You need to decide ahead of time when you start something, when you start a project, when you start a campaign, when you start some type of effort that you're doing in your business, what does a win equate to and what does a loss equate to? Because when you do that and you have those key performance indicators already determined, this is where, if we get this result, we know that we've done what we should and we've been successful in what we're trying to accomplish. If we get that result, we didn't. That way it makes it really easy for you to move forward, make decisions, and know what you need to do next. Don't let yourself get bogged down in the weeds. Don't let yourself get stuck. Keep your KPIs simple and direct so that you can easily make decisions and move yourself forward. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have questions, as always, leave them in the comments below. We'd be happy to take a look at them and answer them for you. And otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.